And we are live. Hello. I was holding up my iPad because they're holding up their books, and this is how I read The Blood of Olympus. Um, so we are here to discuss The Blood of Olympus. I'm Tiernan. We're on my channel now, and we're just going to go down the line and introduce ourselves. But hang out. Wait, we're going to do Q&A, but on Twitter because I screwed it up. So we're going to use the hashtag Blood of the Booktubers. Okay, introduce.
Alright.
Alright, go ahead, Cassidy.
Alright, hey everybody. I'm Cassidy from Cass J Tuck. General opinion of this book. Didn't love it. There were very few parts I loved, though, so that's good news. But generally, yeah, not a huge fan. And
Hi guys, I'm Jessica from Price is Wong, and I still love this book and I still love this series, and it's still one of my favorite series. It is my least favorite, I guess, comparing them all, but I still had a lot of scenes I really liked, and I do have, you know, a lot of problems and things which we'll get into later, but I still really liked it, and I obviously still love this series, of course. So.
All right, hi, my name is Kat from Katie Castic, and like Cass and Jess have said, I did like this book, but there were also some things that I was disappointed with. Like, I feel as an installment, this was a great book, but as a finale, it was not. I had some expectations, I wanted some things that didn't happen, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I pretty much agree with you guys. Like, I liked it until it got to the ending, and the ending was the ending. So, you know, I feel like that makes sense to all of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Spoilers! Anyway, lots of spoilers.
Yeah,
there will be lots of spoilers in this discussion.
Yeah, they're coming, so don't be here unless you read this book.
Yeah, like, go now. I forgot that wasn't implied. Okay. So is there like, okay, now I see that we have people. Okay, so we should start getting tweets soon-ish. But before we like go and talk about some of the things that we didn't like, which I know there are a lot, why don't we talk about like our favorite scenes? Because I know there's some scenes that we all loved, mostly like towards the beginning and the middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Nike situation.
I love the part when they're going in to see like the doctor, and there's like the big statue that he like Leo rewires into just, what was it, idiot mode or something, and I just was like cracking up throughout the whole part, and they're like, it's like throwing acid on its face and like singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Rick Riordan's books just the humor just, I mean, I just love it. It's so funny. But Leo, I love Leo, and like when he's just like, all the ladies love Leo and all that stuff. It was good. It was so good. And then the doctor at the door, it has like every single like possible, like, you know, it was awesome. He was cool. But yeah, there's so many parts. I love that part. What's one of your guys' favorite parts?
I'm gonna say the Nike part. I love that scene.
Yeah.
That was like, the first part in the book where I was like really getting into it. Like, yes, this is classic Rick Riordan material here. It was just so much fun, and it was early enough that I wasn't yet wondering where the heck is the Percy point of view? Where is the Annabeth point of view? Why haven't we seen Frank and Hazel? What's going on here? So it was like I just completely enjoyed it.
yeah, I agree with you. I'd have to agree. Nike was probably my favorite humorous part because it's like you said, it really brings you back. It brings you back to what Percy Jackson, like to almost to the first books of Percy Jackson, the first series, when Rick Riordan would bring in all these different gods and goddesses, and Percy would just, or not even just Percy in this case, obviously, but like they would outwit them, or they would kind of poke fun at the god or goddess. So that was fun. Favorite part in general, though, was I was like way digging Piper and Annabeth's girl power friendship. So I was really,
Yes.
I wish there would have been more, but and I wish there was a lot of things. Okay, life is good.
I loved the part when, I mean, her, like, charm speak is getting so good, and then, I don't remember what they were called, but, like, the snake people or whatever, and she's, like, singing and everything, and she's, like, using that, and they, like, hate it, but they love it, and then she's, like, leading them up there, and then she's like, you're not going to betray us, and he's like, dang it, like, it's just, I don't know, I really like that part, but
I agree.
I did Annabeth and her because it was about, like, logic versus, like, going with your gut and your instincts, and that was just so cool. Like, together, they're just, like, such a good team, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I loved that there was still, like, even though we all have complaints about it, there was still, like, this signature humor and writing style. So, like, it wasn't horrible, in my opinion. But one of my favorite parts that literally had me, like, laughing out loud for about 5 minutes was when that was happening and Leo goes like, I bet that would be totally against our sponsorship deal. Those are not the official shoes of the Olympics. You will die now. And then literally comes up behind him and says, you will die now.
And he's, like, talking about Adidas and, like, all that stuff. It's so funny.
I forgot about the Adidas quote. That was
I love all those little references. Like, also the scene where Percy and Jason were underwater and they were talking to that goddess about, like, getting her the merchandising rights and, like.
I know.
that was a good. That was classic Percy. I loved that. Like I said, it brings me back. It makes me, oh, that's the Percy I love. That's the Percy that got me into this series.
Except I thought that was Jason though.
It was
And Percy, wasn't it?
Percy was like knocked out.
Was he?
He was underwater,
That's
and
a first.
that was when Jason like saved him with his tornado thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I read this once and I never went back, but wow, Percy is knocked out. Jason is the one making quips. Like
I know.
real life, like gets all mixed up. Oh my gosh. Next thing you know, Percy's like gonna be dating a brick and
So, did you guys all agree, though, that we all, like, wanted, I think everyone probably wanted more Percy and Annabeth. Did you guys all, like, do you guys agree?
Well, I agree with people when they're like, well, it's not Percy and Annabeth's series, and that's partly true, but they are part of the Big Seven, and Rick Riordan made that decision. So, in a perfect world, I think we would have had either Percy or Annabeth. I would prefer Percy, since Annabeth kind of got, Mark of Athena was like Annabeth's book.
Yeah.
And I would have had maybe Percy, Jason, Hazel, and Nico or Raina. I don't think we needed both Nico and Raina. There was really no reason for that.
I agree.
So that, in a perfect world, I think, we should have had I think Percy, but that's my.
I feel like we did all of them. Like, we didn't need to have, like, I think that we could have kept Nico and Raina, but maybe not as many chapters of them, like, flipping back and forth so often.
Yeah.
I would have been happy if there was one Percy chapter, one Annabeth chapter, one Frank chapter, one Hazel, just one from each to say goodbye. This is the finale. Come on.
Right?
Yeah, and I think
Sorry, go ahead.
okay. I think Rick Riordan's argument against that is like Percy and Annabeth already had their ending, and Jason and Piper deserve more love from the fans and stuff. But yeah, they already had their ending. But then you brought them back to us, so we need another one now.
Right.
Yeah.
This happened.
You made them a part of the Big Seven.
Frank and Hazel not having an ending.
Right? Yeah. What the heck? Frank's burning stick, that suddenly means nothing. There was so much buildup of that burning stick.
Yeah,
so,
not only that, but there was also that scene where, like, Piper and Frank went to see Frank's relatives, and, like, it was just barely mentioned. It's like, we should have seen that. Like, that should have been that was the perfect Frank point of view chapter for him to, like, meet the shapeshifting relatives.
And people love Jason, and people are starting to love Piper. I'm not seeing a lot of love for Frank, and Frank is awesome. Frank's a cool character, so.
I think with the stick part, I mean, when that was kind of wrapped up with the whole deal with, like, Leo and getting the fireproof fireproof bag, but still I expected more.
It
So
just
I mean, there was
wasn't
some.
as dual as it was built up to be.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's taken
And
care of.
I feel like when you guys were talking about the chapters earlier, I was genuinely happy with all the chapters that we got, but I wanted more. So if we would have had like the book that we had, but he had slipped in like more chapters of Percy or Percy and Annabeth, or if he just added more, like I know it would have been a lot bigger, but I would have been happy with that because I know some people don't care for Raina and Nico as much, but I actually love those two. I really like them in this book, and Raina. And then like the ghost and all of that I loved. I just like was missing the Percy and Annabeth stuff and all of that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, if you guys check the hashtag, it looks like people are asking.
Yeah, we got quite a few questions. Did your
Sorry,
feelings about this book affect your excitement for Magnus Chase? Not at all, for me.
And wait, what did you say, Tiernan? What was the question?
Your feelings about this book, did it affect your excitement for Magnus Chase?
Oh, no. No. It's Magnus Chase. I have a feeling Magnus Chase is just going to be a completely different game, like the King Chronicles. I love the King Chronicles. They're very separately from Percy Jackson. Very in its own world. I love the King Chronicles, but I very rarely compare the two. So that's how I feel about Magnus Chase. I'm not really super. I don't know. It's very different for me. So I'm still pretty pumped.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the series, and I actually imagine how sad we would have been if we found out he was just done writing, and then I feel like it would have been even worse to leave with this book, and because not a lot of people are super happy with it, but no, I'm really looking forward to the new series. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I agree. I think if anything, you'd be more excited for it because Greg Riordan's writing another book, a whole new series, new characters, possibly related to Annabeth. We might get some crossover action. I really want that book. I'm excited for it.
I am too.
I definitely think there will be at least a little bit of a crossover, because even in the Kane Chronicle, there was a crossover in the last one, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's these short stories. Wait, are you talking about the short stories or the books?
The last book, wasn't there Drew from Camp Half-Blood was in that one?
Yes, Sadie knew Drew. They went to school together.
I didn't actually read them, I just heard about it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And it was nice to see her get ignored by a hot god and stuff. I didn't like Drew. Nobody likes Drew.
And then we did get in this book, they did talk about Annabeth's family over in, was it Brooklyn, I think?
Chicago, I think.
Her uncle or something. So I think that was going to be related to this. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's uncle and cousin. That rivalry going on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chicago?
Some people were saying in my the discussion in my comments in my review, so many people are hoping that because of everything about Raina and how she's they're hoping she's gonna eventually be with Magnus, but didn't they say it's with a demigod? And so Magnus, isn't he supposed to be a demigod or no? Do you guys?
I know nothing about Magnus Chase. I know it's Norse mythology, and I know Norse mythology is super gnarly. But that's all I know. I honestly know nothing else. And I don't know, why are people so obsessed with Raina having a person? Raina's fine. She's doing just fine.
Have anyone. Not everyone needs to be coupled off at the end.
Yeah.
We can have a person being by themselves.
Exactly.
I mean, okay, I'm also a little bit of a hypocrite because I always thought it was going to be Leo and Raina. I'll admit it. Went through the first couple of books, and not because I wanted Raina to be with somebody, just because I thought, oh, okay, they're introducing this silly single character and this really serious single character. I'm gonna use what normally happens when I read books, and I'm gonna assume this is gonna happen. But when I got further along, I was like, oh, okay, well that's fine. But I just always thought, I don't know, it's just the norm. It's what I'm used to reading. You know what I mean? Like the guy and the serious girl.
The norm. Like I don't think I can think of one young adult book that doesn't have a romance in it. There's none. There's not one.
Me either. Yeah, no, I almost said the Maze Runner and then I remembered. Wow, it's been a long time. Yeah, you're actually probably right. And I get it. It's romance is fun to write, and people use it as a means of character development and whatnot, and that's whatever. But we have so much romance in these books. Did we really need Raina to have somebody too? It's like, can we just? Sorry, I burped. Lots of cookie. Can we just be cool with her being on her own for a little bit? Is this fine with everybody? I don't know.
She's 19 years old. Like, she doesn't need to be with the person she's going to be with for the rest of her life right now. Like,
Sorry.
Okay,
Did everyone just freeze?
yeah, mine just it went black and I don't know.
Okay.
So a lot of people, what did you guys? I like Nico, and some of you maybe don't. What did you guys think of his ending? And a lot of people are asking about this with him going up to Percy and he's just you're not my type, and Percy's just wait, what? And then Annabeth just high fives him, just I don't know. And then Will and all of that stuff.
I have a very unpopular opinion, which is that I really like Nico, but I think people defend Nico a lot for a lot of stuff, which is cool. Nico's a great character. I love him. He was one of my favorites in the first series, one of my favorites in this series. But it's the same issue. It's they wanted him to be paired up with someone. Will Solis? What the heck? I totally forgot about Will. I was who's this? Oh gosh, Will Solis. I remember you. And it felt oh man, we didn't really need to pair him up with anybody. That wasn't necessary. But it's fine. I don't really care. And then I don't know. It's just I think it's kind of strange that after everything that happened, everyone is so obsessed with Nico and just what happens to him and what do you think of Nico? And I'm well, there's 6 other characters here, and it's weird to me that nobody's asking about Hazel or Frank or Annabeth or Jason or Piper. There's got a lot. For me, Frank and Hazel, that drives me up the wall. I didn't get near enough in Frank and Hazel this one. But I don't know. It's just, there was just a lot of Nico and Raina in this book, I guess. But I know that's a super unpopular opinion. It's cool.
What do you guys think about the ending?
I liked it. When I went into the book, I had in mind that if Rick tried to pair Nico off with someone, I was going to hate it. I was already prejudiced against whoever he might pair Nico up with. But then, just from a few interactions with Will, I was okay, I'm kind of okay with this. And yeah. I like that it wasn't they're totally together, 100% together.
Yeah.
Will was another person who was supportive to him. Throughout the book, Nico starts to realize that he has people who are supportive of him. And
that's true.
Yeah. And then Will is just calling him out when he's being mopey, and I appreciated that.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point. It could have been worse.
If they had just gotten to, I mean, if it's something concrete, I think I would have been this is, wait, why would he have done that? I like that it was just a few little, little conversations, and then it just kind of, no, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about it that way.
It definitely felt less of a, this is a character, and this is another character, and now they need to be together. I kind of wanted Nico to end up with someone, and I'm glad it wasn't just someone completely random. It made sense by the time he met him for Nico to be with someone, I guess.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Nico had already been kind of healing on his own and coming to terms, and
exactly
that last little push to come back into the real world.
Yeah. And to join the camp, because he didn't know if he would stay in a camp or not, also, and he didn't know where he was.
I'm so happy he's staying. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
It made me so happy. Love Nico being in Camp Half-Blood.
So
It's a little bit of a slap in the face, though. Not because, like, I totally get that Will Solis was the one who was like, stop being mopey, but, like, how many times was Nico told that he was welcome back to Camp Half-Blood? Like 100 times, seriously. Percy, Annabeth, Chiron, Nico, come back. We want you. No, I don't want to. But suddenly Will Solis is like, hey, you should stay. Oh, yeah, sure, Will. Whatever you say. That felt kind of like, hey, what the heck? Like, it's not like nobody wanted you here. We've been, like, trying to get you back to Camp Half-Blood for, like, what is it, like 7 books now? Come on. Like, yeah, let's get together. Like, I understand. I definitely liked that Will was the person who was like, stop being such a mopey, jerk. Come on.
Nico has had such a hard time, though. Like, his dad and how people treated him just because of, like, who his father is. He was so insanely powerful in this book. It was, like, creepy to a point, like, how, like, what he was doing. But how he just, like, was so intent on getting them back and, like, the shadow travel and everything. How it was just, like, it was odd how he was almost, like, not even, like, there was no substance. Like, it was kind of crazy. But I just, I don't know. Some people are not as big of a fan as others, but throughout the books, I, for some reason, just really started liking him more. Although he is mopey, and that's what we were talking about just a minute ago. I like that. He's, like, checking him on that. Like, there are people here that care about you, and anyways, but.
Yeah, it took him a long time to, like, understand that, too, because he's been told a lot.
Yeah.
Like, Lucy was good to Nico. Like, I mean, yeah, the Bianca thing sucks and whatever, but he was always really good to him and always tried to include him and always was tried to be good to him. But you mentioned Hades, and I wanted to bring something up before I forgot it. Did you guys feel like the gods, and like minus Nike, minus the gods we know, Poseidon, Hades, whatever, Zeus, were like super overly formal this book. Like, even Apollo wasn't as, like, wacky as he normally is. Everyone was really, like, the conversation Nico had with Hades was so out of character to me. I was like, whoa, respectful, nice Hades, where did you come from? I'm so confused because we haven't seen them in such a long time, And it's weird to get a Hades that's like, oh, I'm proud of you, son. You're a good man. I'm going to save a place for you in my palace. And it was like, What? Where did this come from? Like, and Zeus did kind of the same thing once they were having that, like, big council meeting. Like, it was a little silly, but it's like, man, Zeus, you're kind of the reason this all began. Like, you and your pride, and you're just unable to, like, come to terms with the fact that a demigod kind of shows you up in the end. And suddenly all the gods were acting really formal, I guess, is what I would say. Did anyone else get that vibe? I just wanted to know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Felt sort of inconsistent, but there were a few things in there that were like weirdly inconsistent with the rest of the series and just the way everything was set up.
Right.
Like the island that Calypso was on, I thought no one could go back to that.
Right. Yeah.
Ogaija? That's how I said it.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just call it
like Percy's fatal flaw, like it was kind of someone just brought up that it was foreshadowed in Son of Neptune in the hashtag, but then
a lot of people I wanted to bring that up because a lot of people are saying that never came to be, and I disagree because throughout this entire series, Percy is always trying to be like the savior, and he's always trying to save the day, and he's always the one going on all these missions, and he's always doing things. And for once, like whenever Jason and Piper went up with Gaia or however you guys say it, then it's like he stayed back with Annabeth, and there was like a moment when he kind of let them go and did not go for once, because I feel like if Percy would have gone, he would not have survived with Piper and Jason when they went up there. Like obviously Leo, which I was upset how people reacted to Leo dying, but we'll talk about that later. So a lot of people, I mean, I'm not saying that was like the perfect conclusion to that, because yeah, it was foreshadowed a lot. But a lot of people said that it wasn't even touched on, and I do think that was a step in the right direction for Percy to not always have to feel like he has to be the one that defeats like every bad guy, and I don't know. Because he was there fighting, and that was easy for someone like Percy, whereas Gaia is flying up in the sky, with... Anyways, what did you guys think about that?
I think you make a really good point. Oh, I'm sorry, Kat. Go ahead. My thing is like freezes and then it skips ahead, so sorry.
I was just saying that I agree that it was like kind of touched on, but it felt like it was built up to be something more. Like it was to be more of a conflict. Like Percy had to like more consciously make the decision to stay back, or like he by acting on his fatal flaw of like trying to always protect his friends, he ended up hurting someone even more, or like I was just expecting something more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I was going to say too. Is I agree with both of you, honestly. I think it was definitely touched on, but the biggest issue with this series, I don't know. I hate to compare Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the heroes of Olympus, because they're different. They are, and they are different series, different characters, the whole enchilada. But if you notice, if you read Percy Jackson and the Olympians, all the foreshadowed events come to pass in a really big way, and that's part of what made the Last Olympian so I hate this word, but so epic, so big, like and just crazy. Whereas all the built up things in this book, they came to pass, but they fell flat. It was like okay, like I guess it happened, but it's not like as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. And for me, it's the matter of this last book here. Didn't really tie it together very well.
The ending fight with Gaia, that was built up to
Yeah.
me. It happened in like 2 pages, and it was so easy.
Yeah, I did not over so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Love Piper, though. Way to go, Piper.
everyone's like, seriously, you just had to take her off the earth? Like, what? Like,
I thought she was the Earth.
yeah. What? Like, while I was reading this, I'm like, are you serious, Rick Riordan?
Like, remember how the last Olympian battle lasted like 10 chapters?
Yeah.
Let's just have a moment to remember that happened. And like that's what I was expecting. Not so much like the same thing, but I was like, this. I know Rick Riordan does crazy battles. This is gonna. Even the battle of the labyrinth battle was like huge. Even the battle with Keone at the very second book, first book was like crazy awesome. Even the battle with all the dead people in the second one was awesome. Like I was expecting just a battle, like a real, not, okay, Greek, let's go fight stuff. Okay, Piper, so I'm going to need you to use your charm speak, and we're going to lull her back to sleep. Call it a day. What do you guys say? Like, that just felt, oh.
And what made it worse is, like, with the giant fight, that was not huge, so I thought, it's okay, because the Gaia fight's going to be huge. But then it wasn't.
Oh,
I did like how what do you guys think about the gods, like, with their sons and daughters? I wish we'd have gotten more, but what did you guys think? Like, wasn't that kind of cool, though, how for a little while they were, like, fighting together?
What? Sorry, you froze a little bit on my end.
With the giant fight, when the gods and goddesses are fighting with their sons and daughters, and yeah, I think it was Jason's perspective, I think, if I remember right.
No, that was really cool.
And after that, he's like, yeah, it was.
I was like tearing up. I was like, oh.
And then Aphrodite's over there, like, throwing petals, like, helping Piper. Everyone else is actually helping, but Aphrodite's just like, you go, girl.
Okay, we have another question. I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but order the series from favorite to least favorite. You guys know what your favorites are?
Yeah, I do.
Mine's Mark of Athena.
Mine too, Tiernan.
Yeah.
High five.
What did you say, Kat?
House of Hades, I think, is my favorite.
I was going to say, I don't know between House of Hades and Mark of Athena, because those two were just, a lot of people said that it almost, like, it got so good, and then it just, this book, it kind of went down again. But the third and fourth books were just, oh, they were so good.
House of Hades was really great. There's just something special about Mark of Athena, I think. There was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna, I've actually given it some thought because someone asked me that recently on probably, and in both series, I have books that are pretty much interchangeable for my second favorite, but after giving it some thought, I really liked House of Hades, but Son of Neptune is probably my second favorite. Son of Neptune was really exciting, and I love the three people going on a quest. Like, that's what I love. Like, I love that stuff. There was something, like, The Lost Hero had it, but there was something to be desired with The Lost Hero. I don't really know exactly what it is, but yeah, and it used to be, I wasn't sure. I put House of Hades at first, and then I gave it more thought. I was like, I don't know. It might go Mark of Athena, Son of Neptune, House of Hades, The Lost Hero, and then Blood of Olympus, which I never expected was going to happen in a million billion years. I thought Blood of Olympus was going to be the last book that I liked. That's crazy.
I'm writing up my like list of like my favorites of 2014 before this book came out, and I had planned to do it as like my favorite finale of 2014.
Oh.
No!
No, what are you going to do now, Kat?
I don't know!
That's
What are you out this year?
Our Diary series, I have some hope for that one. Maybe that finale will be good, but
read those books. Off topic, are they any good?
I'm reading the second one right now, and I'm really liking it. I know Christine loves it, and she's like, you have to read it. I wasn't going to, but...
I'm literally writing this down so I remember.
Heir of Fire was one of my favorites of the year. I cannot wait for the fourth book next year.
Which one?
The Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Heir of Fire just came out this year. Oh,
I'm writing that down too.
so good. Sorry, I know that was off topic, but
Hey, we're booktubers. It's in our blood.
did you guys, any of your predictions like come true? I know someone asked that on Twitter. Or were you just everything like completely wrong?
Yes. The two people I thought would have died, it was a tie between Nico and Leo. The Leo, but then he didn't, and that's another conversation. So I think Leo was one of my predictions. I was like, it's either going to be Nico or Leo. They're both kind of loners, so I mean, it would hurt the least. You know what I mean? In a manner of speaking, I guess. Like, it'll hurt, but it'll hurt not as bad as, like, say, Annabeth dying or Jason.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, though.
Did we talk about Leo?
I wanted to talk about how I felt like no one was that sad he was dead. I was so upset. They're just, like, going on their way. Like, what is this?
Like, you mean the characters, Jessica?
Yeah. Like, I mean, when he was dead and everyone just kind of moved on, I mean, they were like, oh, this is sad, but I did not think it was sad enough. And then I do want to talk about later with, like, Calypso and stuff, but did you guys feel that, or is it just me?
Oh, I mentioned that in my review, too. The only person who cried over him was Hazel, but Hazel cried over everything. So it just feels special. Like, what? Do you guys even care that Leo's dead? Like, does that make you sad at all?
Like, from the first book. Yeah. I mean, he's been there with him this whole time, and they're just like, oh, that really stinks. Let's move on.
Oh, that's too bad, but at least we're alive, guys, right?
I mean,
Like, you know.
I'm more sad about Luke dying in the previous series. Like,
Yeah.
I forgot about Luke. Seriously, you just took me. I totally forgot Luke existed. Last time I saw Luke was when I watched Sleep Monsters. I don't recommend doing that.
I mean, maybe it was like they went into battle, they expected to lose people.
Yeah.
Still, it's Leo. Like, you with him this whole time.
And they didn't just lose Leo. He sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
And how could they not think, like, hey, we spent this entire book getting the potion to stop someone from dying. Maybe Leo rigged something and he's still alive.
Let's go for him.
No, Kat, that would actually make sense. Okay, everything makes sense in this novel. Let's be real. Come on, let's get with it. This is an unlogical novel. We got to keep it consistent. Am I right?
So many people in the comments were like, I don't understand. That didn't make sense. Like, Leo is dead, and he was dead, he couldn't drink it. I'm like, did you totally just skip the part where he like hooked up Festus to like actually give him the shot or whatever, because it could be like injected or like swallowed. But yeah, what did you guys think of that in Calypso? Like, did you think of? I also thought we'd get more from that. I didn't think like I thought he'd come back to camp. He'd be like, hey guys, here's Calypso.
I don't have anything against Calypso. I was really excited to see her again.
Yeah.
And I'm totally cool with her and Leo being a thing. It's totally fine. I don't care. Doesn't really make a difference to me. But yeah, it's a weird note to end on Leo going back to Ojija for however. I don't even know how he does that. You're not supposed to be able to go back twice for the first one thing. Like, that was a big deal.
I have a theory about that, actually.
Oh.
I think that he like programmed Festus to not inject him until they were back, because like no living person could make it back to the island. But if he was dead and then Festus brought him back to life, like once they got there, maybe
Right.
that's.
But
That's true.
That's really likely, but it would have been nice if Rick Riordan said it. Like, that's super likely. That makes a ton of sense. But why didn't Leo say, yeah, see, this is what I did? Because you would think Calypso would have been like, whoa, hey, how the heck? You're not supposed to be able to come back. Oh, well, I did this. Oh, okay, great. Not just Leo suddenly waking up in Ojija and flying into the sunset with this woman. Like, that's not the ending I was anticipating at all, honestly. I don't know. I don't know what I expected. It wasn't that.
And how did they get off the island? That's the next question. You're not supposed to be able to do that either. And I have no explanation for that.
Cat asks the hard questions. I don't know. I have no idea. So many things about Leo's death makes no sense to me. I don't know.
But Calypso was supposed to get off the island. Like, that was part of Percy's deal with the gods. So maybe they finally like decided to let up on the rule and like let her find her way off. But again, it wasn't stated. Like, it wasn't said. It wasn't made clear that that's what was going on.
Yeah, that's true. Poor Percy, though. This whole book series, everybody's like, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are like nagging on him too. Like, wow, Percy, all you did was save the world and get the gods to agree to this, but you didn't check up on people?
Oh, yeah.
I like how all these questions are so intense, like, what did you think about, so-and-so dying, and all these, like, super intense questions, and then this one person's just like, did you notice that Percy and Annabeth skipped junior year? Like, that's the least of their worries. It's like, skip. Oh, what did you guys think, though, about their futures, like, with, they were talking about going to New Rome and all that stuff?
Oh, it's sweet. I've always been... I'm really not. I like romance as much as the next person, I guess, but I've never really been as invested in a couple as I've been with Percy and Annabeth. I think that's romance done right. They were friends first. They got to know each other. By the end of, like, what was the last book called? Last Olympian? It made sense. Like, yes, I can support this relationship because it is healthy and right and good. So... I'm very invested in this particular, champ, I guess I'm going to call it. So I thought it was sweet, and I was happy. I was like, this is cool. They're going to have a future together, finally, and they can rest, and there's no more crazy stuff going on. Poor Percy and Annabeth have been through, wow, a lot.
Yeah.
So it feels nice that they can finally just kind of catch a break and live their lives. That's nice for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree.
See, a lot of people are asking if we're upset that, like, no one died.
I mean,
Some people died.
That is the wrong.
Octavian died.
I'm not upset about that. I don't know. I'm not like happy that there were no deaths. I feel like people dying would have been realistic. But the selfish, happily ever after part of me is like, I'm glad no one died. No, don't kill my babies.
We're all so worried about that in the House of Hades. All of us plus Christine were so worried about who was going to die, and then here we are, later.
Crazy with those boxes they sent out. I was like, oh my gosh, is it Frank? Is it real? Is it someone's gonna die? And it's gonna be the saddest thing ever. What ended up happening is someone kind of only sort of died, and it wasn't sad at all. I think I at least expected somewhat of a sad ending. Like, you don't need people to die to achieve this. Like, I mean, look at Luke dying. I mean, like, yeah, he died and it was sad, but he wasn't like the main character, and it was still really, really sad. It just wasn't sad at all. It was kind of just, there was a battle, but Leo lived, and I don't know. There's a lot of things wrong with this ending.
It felt like all the build-up was kind of misleading. Like, it was all like, who will survive the final fight? All of them!
It's a final battle, and it's a battle that literally takes 12 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
it's probably more likely that everyone's gonna live.
Even in the House of Hades, like, remember Small Bob and Big Bob and, like, how they, all of that, like, we were all so crushed, and, like, that was something, like, even, we didn't have anything like that. I mean, you know, we didn't have anything that, I don't know.
Right.
Rick Riordan could have introduced new characters just to kill them later. Like,
There you go.
kill them, so we felt some sense of loss and like, well, at
This
least
is why you're going to be a good author, Kat.
Oh, that's my cat. You secretly write Game of Thrones? I'm.
not a secret anymore.
This is so and so. Arrow through the heart. Kind of reminds me of Veronica Roth with like the Second Virgin book. Every like 5 pages after she introduced somebody, they were like killed every single time. That was good times. I love getting attached to characters that die almost immediately. It's like my favorite.
What if she killed, or what if Rick Riordan killed like Will at the end? Like, as soon as
I thought, okay, I'll be totally honest. I thought Will was the one who did die on the bridge battle in the last Olympian. That's why it was so. First of all, I was like, who is Bolus? Like, I totally forgotten about him. And
Yeah,
then,
I did too.
didn't he die on the bridge or something? It wasn't, who died? It wasn't Ethan Nakamura. He died at the end. It was the guy who died on the bridge. You remember? Was he an Apollo kid? Does anyone remember this guy?
I don't.
I
Yeah.
have very distant memories of that whole series.
Attached to him.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I was so confused. I thought Will was the one who died. So I was
I
like,
remember Selena Beauregard, but that's like it.
I'm looking it up.
There's Selena and her boyfriend had died as well. Like, she got him killed, and then she felt really guilty about it. Right? Is that what happened?
I think, yeah.
Because like the Selena was that Aphrodite girl who like betrayed them a little bit and got like her boyfriend ended up dying and then she died as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I can do this.
Oh, what did you?
I'm going that far.
What's his name? Blackjack. Yeah, when Orion shoots him, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, no. And like, I love the part with the the Pegasus or Pegasi and Raina and all of them though.
By the way, it's Michael Yu.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So that guy, he was cool. So yeah, totally irrelevant. I just was
Also,
curious.
another reason why I loved Raina was after all this, and she gets the Mark of Athena, she does her job, and then everything happens with, what was it, like the bomb or whatever, and she basically like sacrifices herself, and then Athena like, kind of thinks her in this way. I just loved that part. Like, I thought it was so cool.
Raina is probably one of the better characters in this series. Like, she's just so awesome. Like, I'm totally like, I mean, as much as I thought that like Nico and Raina maybe had too much time in this book, I love Raina. I love her story. I love all the journeys she went through. Raina's just a cool character. She's awesome. She's just the pinnacle of a Roman soldier. I love Raina. Sorry, girl crush.
Yeah. She's one of my favorite characters in this book, and I wasn't expecting that. I was like, I was like more happy for the Nico chapter than the Raina chapters until I started reading the Raina chapters, and I was like, I like this girl. She is awesome.
Yeah.
It was the same way.
I remember at the end of House of Hades, like when her Pegasus had died, I was like heartbroken for her. And so I like that was incorporated a little bit here. Like, she has a really good relationship with them, and like she cared so much for hers that like the Pegasus like trust her and they're like on her side. I liked that part.
Speaking of Reina's like chapters, I like that she got to see Thalia. I always say her name wrong. I like that we got to see her again,
Thalia too.
just for a minute.
I also say Thalia, so I'm with you in the Thalia club.
And the Amazons and everything.
But
then they all like died because of freaking Orion.
gone.
Yeah, I love the whole, I demand to see Thalia Grace. Where is she? Like, you have your knife to her throat right now.
Thalia!
Love Thalia. Driving me crazy. We saw more of Thalia than we did of Hazel and Frank. Like, that will never stop hurting. The bruise on my heart will never heal.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to talk about it. I might cry.
This person's saying, did you think Percy and Annabeth should have felt more of an impact from Tartarus? They didn't show any signs of PTSD, but we didn't get to hear from them, so we don't really know, do we?
No, and somebody also brought this up, and I wanted to see what you guys thought. There was like a big part in House of Hades where Percy kind of goes a little crazy and like almost like just starts killing this goddess in like a kind of a sadistic way. And Annabeth's like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, stop. And it was a really big deal afterward. But then in this book, it was like mentioned briefly and then never again. What did you guys?
We talked about that in House of Hades. And I remember like half of us were kind of on one side, and then I remember Christine and I, and maybe a couple of you, but we were saying that we just kind of felt like he was acting out. Like, that's after they'd been in there for a while, and I think Percy was just on such like self-defense mode that he was just like striking out, and I think it was making him crazy. Like, they were in Tartarus, and he's trying to protect himself and Annabeth. I think he took it a bit too far, and then Annabeth had to kind of bring him back in. I was surprised. I guess it wasn't mentioned in this book. But I guess I didn't. I don't know. I did read a lot of comments about that, where a lot of people were surprised it wasn't.
It was kind of mentioned. Like, that's why Percy didn't fight back much in that underwater scene with Jason. Like, when he was being choked with the water, like he felt like he deserved it because of what he had done in Tartarus. But I completely agree with what you said. Like, he was in Tartarus. Like, he was going through literal hell. Like. Yeah. Understandable that he acted out and he was like in survival mode and like his anger kind of got the best of him in that moment. And I think it's funny that people like pinpoint that as like Percy going dark when Nico did something worse in this book. Like he killed someone. Like, and Raina was like, oh, it's okay.
Well, that's a good point.
Nico's always been a little dark. I don't know.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense to me, actually. That explanation makes more sense, that it would be more of a contained issue. The reason why I brought it up is because someone commented on it, and I couldn't quite remember how it happened, but that definitely clears it up for me, I think. That makes a lot of sense.
I think it was even the goddess that he was doing that to was, like, threatening Annabeth. Like, he was threatening to kill her or separate them or something, and he's like,
was
oh,
it
don't.
Nyx or NYX, whatever, however you say that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, that does make sense. It all is coming together.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone know how to stop whatever this dinging sound is every 5 seconds? Hear that?
Where's it coming from?
I don't know.
It's got like a smoke detector or something in your room?
No, like it's on the computer.
I hear it now now I hear it.
I don't hear it as often as you do, I don't think.
I haven't gotten it. You have?
Did you just hear it like just now? Yeah. And then?
Yeah.
That's coming from their computer. Yeah, I know. I'm saying it's not coming from my computer. Yeah,
okay.
It's coming from my computer, but I can hear it coming from their computer.
I don't know if it's coming from mine or not. I think some of them are.
I don't know. I don't have anything like else open besides Twitter, so I don't know what would be doing that.
I don't know. Let's just move on.
And is it alright if I address something?
What?
asked. I wanted to address one of the hashtags. It's a question somebody asked.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, somebody said, why did it take so long to explain Reyna's backstory? Which I would, yeah, why? But the other question was, why wasn't the whole Jason Reyna thing resolved? Okay, I'm dying to know what you guys think about this because I've gotten so many questions about this. And my response has always been, what are you talking about? I don't, just that he was gone and that she, had a crush on him, that he didn't reciprocate. What needs to be addressed? I'm confused. So can somebody explain this to me? I would love to know what people are talking about. Anybody?
I don't know. I'm kind of with you. They kind of had a relationship going on, before the first, or in the first book, but it's not something that needs much resolution. I feel like they kind of resolved it anyways previously.
By my understanding, they were never in a relationship. She just had a crush on him.
She wanted something, and only because they were both the Praetors. She was just a natural thing of that. I don't know.
Everyone was so angry with Jason too. They're like, you forgot all about Reyna and you fell for Piper, and it's like, what? They weren't even in a relationship. Jason's got nothing to apologize for. Does it kind of suck for Reyna? Yeah, but I don't see anything that needs to be addressed here. I really try to miss anything.
Yeah, I feel like if they, I don't know, was it ever addressed in previous books? Jason knows about it, doesn't he?
I think he had an inkling of it. Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong, because I haven't reread. I reread Son of Neptune, and I think I've reread the first 3, but I haven't reread the last one or the one before.
I've never reread any of these books actually, so I
Not welcome here anymore. I'm sorry.
I haven't reread any of those books, so I don't know. I agree with what you guys said. I'm not sure what people are talking about. I don't know. I think people really want Reyna to have someone for some reason, and they're just so focused on this, just let it go.
Obligatory. Couldn't stop.
Yeah, no, I've read that too. I've read, let's see.
Somebody, yes, darn it, I'm angry somebody put this in the Q&A because it fills me with rage. No Sally and Percy reunion.
Right? He's been gone for years.
Not even a phone call. Jordan, will you grab it?
Remind me, what was the last time that they spoke? Or
he left her a message in Son of Neptune. He gave her a call and left a message from a payphone in Alaska, and that is the last we have heard of her.
Are you talking about him and his mom?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you said. Yeah, I was expecting something because it's not like he's 30 years old. He's still kind of young, and it's his mom. And in the beginning, the Percy Jackson series, she's a pretty big part, and then she's just gone.
Yeah.
I was really sad about it. Also, less Poseidon too than I would have appreciated. And I don't know. While we're back to the gods. Gosh dang it, did anyone else want Zeus to kind of be like, okay, so maybe I messed up by closing the doors of Olympus. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Zeus is just someone needs to be punished for this, and it won't be me, even though
right? And, it's most of the stuff
and stuff he took it out on.
About what happened previously, and and then he's just like, oh, by the way, this wasn't my fault, guys.
Because didn't he take it out on Apollo by saying, by giving Octavian the prophecies and everything? It's not like that set, that set some stuff in motion, but that wasn't the sole, other stuff was going on beyond that, with which Zeus had a hand in, so I'm just I don't know. He's a god, so he's Zeus, he's not gonna, I didn't expect him to take, I didn't expect him to be like, oh, sorry guys, or any of that.
It would have been really satisfying for him for once take responsibility. He did so much in the first series too that he still hasn't owned up for. Gosh dang you, Zeus, such a douche from you. I don't know what I expected from him.
Let's see what else we have here.
Oh, someone says that the dinging noise is me because when I do live shows, but I'm not hosting this live show.
That's responsible. Cast her out.
Artist! Let me refresh.
Yeah.
Starter.
I'll be right back. See if
Okay.
that leaving fixes it.
Okay.
Still be missed.
Sweet. It's still there.
Remember Kat. She was a good person. She loved Percy Jackson and Heroes of Olympus, and she will be remembered. So what a good person Kat is.
I've already forgotten who you're talking about. I
Wait,
think
what's that?
someone might have just left us.
Was there somebody who was talking?
I think
It looks like
someone
someone
was
in the
in
group.
there.
Hi, what's your name?
Okay.
Was it me?
No.
Yes, it wasn't me!
It's happening more now.
Chris.
I would refresh, but I think this whole thing would shut down.
Oh, and
This is really off topic. Last night I went to dinner and I spilt my drink everywhere. And I was like with a big group, and this guy like shouts and like throws his arms up there. He's like, "Yes, it wasn't me this time." And everyone just like looks over at us. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you?"
I don't know where I thought that story
Anyways, going on.
but it went somewhere I didn't expect. That's for sure. So I was just like, you're just like completely off topic. I spilled my drink last night, and I was like, I want to guess.
Just go with it.
I'm wrong. So, it surprised me there.
Oh man.
I see a question in the hashtag. Did you ever think reading through this book that Reina and Nico would end up together? I think they mean Nico. It says Novo, but I think
I don't know who that is.
I did not think that at all.
Nope.
No.
No. I never thought of Nico like with anyone.
I've been getting the
until he
weirdest
came
shipping
out.
questions. Has anyone gotten a Piper and Annabeth shipping question? I'm like, just because two girls enjoy each other's company doesn't mean they're gonna get together. Like, gosh dang it, you guys.
Yeah.
I actually had someone post a comment on my review about Nico and Reina, and I had like 5 people underneath it like, no, that does not make sense. Why would he go from liking Percy to Reina, and what is wrong? Like, anyways, just because I don't know if, I mean, Nico doesn't have a lot of friends, but now he's letting people into his life, and Reina is just a friend, and it's nice that he has a friend. That doesn't automatically mean there's like a romantic interest there. Like, yeah.
I mean, even if maybe Nico doesn't only like guys and he likes girls, like that doesn't necessarily mean that Reina and Nico would like each other in that way. Like
Exactly.
there's like a 5 or 6 year age difference between them. Like
Exactly.
I'm gonna grab my charger really quick. Proceed. I'll be back.
Yeah. I agree. I never thought of them together though. Like, I
Yeah,
didn't even know that was a thing until I saw comments.
in my mind.
Like, I just thought it was a really nice thing that they were, like, becoming friends, and he was kind of opening up to Reina, and not once was I like, oh, okay, they're getting married. Like, I never,
Never felt romantic. Like it's
no.
sort of like friends, but never romantic.
No.
Mhm. Have you guys read any of the Percy Jackson's Greek gods?
Yes.
I haven't yet. I want to. Have you guys?
A little bit.
Look through it a little bit.
It's pretty dang funny. I definitely recommend it. It's both educational and like insulting to the gods.
Did you hear about the other book he's doing like that? Like
Heroes?
Jackson's Guide to the Greek Gods, and then he's going to do one about the demigods or the heroes.
The heroes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm excited. No, I definitely want to read it, and I think it'll be good. I haven't yet.
I really want to. I have 4 copies sitting on my floor, and I'm like, I need to get on this.
Hey, what are the 4 copies?
They sent me 4 copies to give away.
Almost like just
I actually,
like you lose the other 3 for whatever reason.
yeah.
I've got, actually, fun fact, I've caught like 6 copies of The Last Olympian. I have no idea why. I've got the paperback I originally bought, thought I lost. I have the hardback that I bought in place of the one I lost, which I found later. And then when I was on a flight home, I bought another hard copy because it was on sale and I had nothing to read and it was a really long flight. And then I've got one on my Kindle. I don't know how it even got there. I don't remember buying it. And then I have like 2 other just like inexplicable. Oh no, I have one that was signed by Rick Riordan, and now they sent me another one. From, you know, they gave you the, if you got the box, they stuff there. And I'm like, I have so many, oh wait, no, those are the other ones. Where did I get the, there's like, I don't remember where I got the last one, but I seriously just have 6 Last Olympians now. And I don't know why. I have no clue. Like, the first 3 are accounted for. The final 3, I don't know. I have 0 idea where they came from. So, yeah, I look really cool when people walk into my living room and there's like 6 versions of the same book.
Yeah, people come into my room question why I have like a paperback copy of something and then a hardcover opposite in 2 different spots. It's like because I had to finish the series in hardcover, or they redesigned the covers. Duh.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
What are you guys doing with your extra copies? Like, we all had the books already when they sent us.
Yeah, I'm doing a giveaway.
I did a giveaway.
I got that 12 weeks thing going on, so I'm actually doing a giveaway. But
I'm super selfish, and I'm just gonna keep them. And probably never touch them. I like they come in a pretty little box, and I just put them in on my bookshelf. I was like, that looks nice. I have a lot of the books on my Kindle. So I only have like 2 other hardback versions. I think I have the hardback of The Lost Hero and I want to say House of Hades. So cool.
I got all of mine signed and then I gave them away, like through Instagram.
I just got really scared because I thought it was Monday and I was like, oh my gosh, I did not post that new giveaway, but it's okay, it's Sunday. No, it's actually going up tomorrow. For a giveaway. So I'm in week like 6, I think, of 12, and next week are some bookends, which are really cool. So fun giveaways.
See, this is why people love you guys. I don't do giveaways or contests. Like, I'm too scared. Like, I have this thing. I'm like, I'm gonna give it away. Just kidding. I want to keep it. It's mine.
I wanted to keep mine, but then I was like they're literally just sitting up there in a corner on my shelf. So
I have nothing to give away. I've got like smiles, hugs.
I would give it away if it wasn't so much work to host a giveaway. Like.
And then you're like, do I do international? Do I?
Yeah.
Cat understands me. Also, yeah.
Someone just wants to come over and pick them up and take them off my hands. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to like host the giveaway and disappoint people by not shipping international and then pay for for domestic shipping and send them off and go to the post office.
I'm so bad at giveaways because after I pick a winner, I wait like a month to actually send them their book.
Remember, we are live. Now.
I just do giveaways for electronic gift cards. You want an Amazon gift card? I can do that one.
I can do giveaways. I've got stuff to offer. We just went to Costco. I've got some ramen.
You should do a bacon giveaway. Bacon and Coke Zero.
For everyone. Of bacon. Like 2 pounds of bacon, I kid you not, at Costco. We bought nothing at Costco but 2 pounds of bacon and a bag of dried mangoes.
Cassidy, nothing would make me happier than a box of bacon in the mail from you.
2-pound bacon giveaway. But I don't want to give away my bacon. I love my bacon.
So I wanted to bring up one of these tweets that I'm not liking because, okay, so someone said, am I the only person who thought that Leo really did die and the final chapter was him in, how do you say that? It's like the heaven and Greek, Elysium or something.
Or the Island of Blessed.
It's a nice idea, but like, Calypso wasn't dead.
It's like not actually her. It's like all in his head or something.
Like
but
a daydream or
somehow-
something?
Yeah, can we talk about how we have this beautiful, like, all the words, like, defined and just described to you, but not a glossary? It doesn't tell us how to pronounce them still. Like, I just want to know how to say some of these words.
I think Rick Sheridan likes to watch us suffer. I mean, this has been proven before.
It, like, amuses me to see people pronouncing everything terribly.
I just want to hear everyone say how they say the Earth Goddess. Everyone go.
Gaia.
Gaia.
I've been saying Gaia, but
Dang it, you guys.
How do you
How am I the only one saying Gaia? I'm so alone. I quit.
I think I was saying Gaia, but then I think I heard other people saying Gaia, so I thought, oh, maybe it's Gaia, and then I think I just started saying Gaia. I don't know.
Gaia.
Jordan, shut up. No one asked you. I'm looking this up. I'm looking this up.
Like, some of these words have like two different ways to say them. I remember in the previous book, Hecate, I say it Hecate because that's what Wikipedia says, and some people are like, oh, it's supposed to be Hecate, but it's different. Like the Hecate version is the Shakespeare version, but Hecate is the goddess of magic.
Making my head hurt. I'm gonna listen right now. I googled how to pronounce Gaia, whatever, and I'm gonna listen to it right now. So this is my moment. Hold on.
Gaia.
Ah!
Gaia.
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 You just said Gaia.
No, there's both. No, Gaia. Gaia. You could say it both ways. That's
We're all right.
I only want
Yay.
We're all
I took a biology course like 2 years ago in university, and my teacher did say, she did say a lot of the words were like two different ways, and I don't know. I mean, I do remember some of them, but I can't. There's so many names, I can't remember all of the pronunciations.
What if that was like a common thing? Like, what if I'm Cassidy and Cassidy, and you're like, geez, and Tyre and Nain.
People call me different names all the time. There's Tristan, there's Termin, like Vernon is a pretty popular one.
Hold on, I'm gonna write these down. You're giving me ideas.
Literally, people online, before I even said my name out loud, could pronounce my name just fine. No one ever screwed it up. But then we have like a substitute teacher in class, and they see my name, and they're like, "Is it Turnin?"
Would it be
T-I-E-R.
I'm so scared of pronouncing your name wrong. Like, I'm always so nervous about saying people's names wrong, and I was like, is it Tiernan? Like, I had it in mind that was it, but I didn't know for sure if that's how you pronounced it. So I was like always really nervous. Like,
I felt the same way about you, Kat.
really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
K-A-T. There's a lot of ways this can go. It's not
Okay.
Yeah, actually, my YouTube channel name, I do pronounce it both ways. Katie-tastic or Catty-tastic. There's
I
not.
always preferred Catty-tastic, to be honest.
Yeah, okay. I think I was saying one way, but then I said, well, I'm obviously just going to call it whatever, like, you call it. And I thought I heard you say it in a video, and then I heard you say it a different way. I'm like, wait, what is it? And I like, changed it, because I thought I'm, like, bringing up, like, I'm going to be in a live show with Kat from Catty-tastic. I don't want to say your name wrong. And Tiernan, I think I remember in the House of Hades live show, I actually asked you, like, before we came on, like, is it Tiernan? Like, I wanted to know for sure, because I didn't want to be calling you, like, the wrong name throughout the whole live show, like, you know, in here. But
I used to be Marvin on YouTube. That was a dark time.
Yeah, where did Marvin come from? That's why I was confused.
Well, Cassidy, you and I became friends, like, sort of during my transition from Marvin to Tiernan.
Ah, that's why I was confused. Marvin Yin? No,
Yeah,
Tiervin.
I wasn't allowed to use my real name because I was 12 when I started.
Oh, yeah, you're really, really young. How old are you?
I just turned 16.
That's right. You're a youngin'. I forgot.
Yep.
Or maybe I'm just really old. I mean, it's
that's it. No, I'm just
people
kidding.
always remind me. People are, yeah, I'm like I'll get to know booktubers and like, oh yeah, I'm 15. I'm like, my gosh. Wow. Wow. I'm old. Okay.
Do you guys want to answer? A lot of people are asking about how we feel about the Athena and Annabeth deal with everything happened with like the Mark of Athena and then throughout the series, but then we never like I thought whenever the Greeks whenever the giants, the fight, all that, I thought maybe we'd have a scene with like Athena and yeah, maybe them talking, but we didn't really get much, did we? At the end.
Well, that was one thing that was disappointing. Like, we got a scene with Jason and his father from Jason's perspective, and I mean that scene was okay, but we weren't really invested in that relationship at all. Like the Annabeth and Athena relationship, we were much more invested on. Like she went on this whole quest for Athena, this entire book dedicated to it, and we got like nothing at the end of that. So another thing that I just wish had happened. Like I liked this book, what we got. I just wanted more of so much stuff.
Yeah, it felt rushed.
And somebody mentioned that it sounded like almost like a fanfic at times. I can roll with that. There are some things that somebody said feels in this book. I don't remember who it was, and I was just like,
Leo. It was with Apollo, and I thought some people were talking about that in my comments, and they said, "Oh, Rick Riordan's like making fun of his like fans and stuff." And yeah, he said it. Yeah, whenever he was playing the instrument.
Yeah, I know some people found that very funny, but that was probably one of the more cringy parts for me.
I don't know if I agree with the. Oh, sorry, you're talking. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying like the fangirl speak little jokes were just like, oh, don't do that. Oh, please don't do that. I don't like it. I don't like the way it sounds. It does kind of almost make it sound like a fanfic. Sorry,
Yeah.
go.
I don't know if I agree with it sounding like a fanfic, because when I think of a book being like a fanfic, I think of the last Maximum Ride book.
Have any of you guys?
Number one. What could it possibly even be about?
I am not reading that. Are you?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking of reading it and reviewing it just for fun.
I've never read any of those before.
The first three are fantastic.
Don't bother at this point.
The first three.
Yeah, the first three are good, but like you'll want to continue, and then you will, and then
Disappointed.
Sad, and then you'll cry yourself to sleep, and you'll wonder what happened to all that character development, and why do I give a crap about Jeb anymore?
and
What's wrong with Angel? Do I even like her? Do I even care if she lives or dies? These are the questions. These are the questions.
This person says, "How do you guys pronounce bagel?"
bagel.
back to like just I think being like pronouncing different words. I think they're just bagel.
Well, good.
Sounds big.
Boggle.
Someone said, "Which cover do you prefer, the American or English covers?"
American.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the American. I think that the English one for this last book is the best of the English ones, but I still prefer the American covers overall.
Yeah, I would agree.
There's one cover. I don't know which one it is. Hang on. But one of the covers is just like horrendous.
Oh, please tell me so I can Google it.
Yeah, I'm Googling it right now.
I need a good laugh.
I think it's like
it's like I'm just depressed about this book, about Maximum Ride now. Thanks a lot too. Cry myself to sleep tonight.
I have it on my phone. Let me find it real quick.
Hashtag things booktubers have on their phones. Terrible book covers. Did you guys? Okay, this is absolutely off topic. Do you guys remember when Beth Revis's series Across the Universe changed the book covers and the
I
old
never read those.
so much better? They're great. Beth Revis is probably one of the better sci-fi writers in young adult fiction. In my opinion.
The trilogy is fantastic. I've read the whole thing. It's a good trilogy. The cover change drives me insane. It drives me
The covers aren't so bad, but the old ones were beautiful.
Yeah,
I can really see it, Tiernan. It was kind of really bright.
Yeah, here,
I saw
Tiernan,
this little bright light.
which one is it? Do you know? I can Google it.
No, because it's in a different language, and I'm not finding it online.
Gosh, dang it,
Never mind then.
What is it?
Just forget about it.
It's like Deeb in Olymp.
I know, but do you know if it's in the Percy Jackson series or the Heroes of Olympus series?
No. It says Percy Jackson in DIEBE IMOLYMP.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Know what language that is?
No, I did at one point. I'm gonna look for it.
You just tweet it out. Tweet it out.
Wait, spell it out for me again. I'm gonna spell it. Go ahead.
DIEBE space IMOLYMP.
Look this up.
Are you looking for the cover?
Yeah.
I was reading tweets and then I was a little lost for a minute. I was just
Is it
reading
the one
through
with
these.
the giant face?
No, it's one like it's like a man wearing a bull mask with a horn, and Percy Jackson is like holding onto it, but the man is like not wearing anything but underwear, but he's a bull. It's
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I went to Rick Riordan's. He had like a book signing thing.
yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
And he showed it to everybody, and we were all cracking up. Yeah, that
It
was
was on
good.
his PowerPoint there.
It's beautiful.
So I just clicked on this comment off of like Twitter. I was going on Twitter and then that I totally forgot about this line. This is one of my favorite like funny lines from the book. It's talking about you know, like your zodiac sign. I'm a Leo. No, stupid. I'm a Leo. You're a Percy. Whatever Leo. Do you guys remember that? I love Leo so much. And was it your I think it was your interview, Tiernan, maybe. Which, by the way, that was an awesome interview. You did a great job, by the way. And he was talking about how he let some of his humor like go through Leo, I think, because his books are really funny. Like they are good. I love them.
You think you love them?
No, I love them. I love it when books can actually make me laugh because it's pretty rare when books can actually make me laugh. Cassandra Clare can do that. I love her books. I mean, the Mortal Instrument series and the Infernal Devices. I laugh a lot in her books, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
I like
some books can be
characters like
funny,
Leo.
but you don't actually laugh.
Yeah,
But
sometimes you just kind of
laugh at
go
books.
like not really like a laugh. It's just like that thing.
Oh man. Let's see.
Any other questions or anything?
I'm trying to. I accidentally exited out of the questions.
Oh no. Here's one. Would you want Rick to rewrite Blood of Olympus?
It's kind of too late, though. It already happened.
Yeah, it is too late. There's really nothing you could do at this point. I think it would actually cause more harm than good at this point.
I wouldn't want him to rewrite it necessarily. I just want him to write more of it.
Or
Like,
maybe like go back in time and like change it.
There
It's
you
like
go.
the lost chapters of Percy and Annabeth. He's like, guys, I left these out, but I found them, and here you go online. There's tons of chapters. There you go.
Oh gosh, you're right. This battle wasn't supposed to be 2 pages long. There's actually 16 pages. I forgot to put in. Here they are.
I was
He
just
tweeted out
joking
a
with you guys.
sarcastic tweet that was like, people think there's not enough battle. Feel free to add the line, Percy swung his sword and the giant dodged as many times as you want. And I
Well,
was like,
you know, Rick is a bad He's not giving himself enough credit. Because he says that, and it's funny and everything, but, like, come on, Rick Riordan. You've written battles that have lasted chapters. Chapters and chapters. I don't believe that for even 1 second that this couldn't be extended. But I bet at this point he's so sick of hearing it. Like, oh my gosh, guys, shut up. This is just what I wrote. Take it as it is. Which, fair enough, you know.
Uh-huh.
oh, guys, someone tweeted the terrible cover under the hashtag. It's so bad.
Oh, I want to see it.
I was hoping someone would.
Oh my goodness, I can't with how bad it is.
It's beautiful. I want this blown up and pasted all over my house.
I kind of want like a copy of the book.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Why isn't it? It's under the hashtag?
It's the German cover of The Lightning Thief. That's what it is.
Love Germany.
I don't know. Oh, I was on like top results instead of all. Dang it, stupid Twitter. How do I work you? What is this? I've never been on Twitter before. Oh my goodness, what?
Beautiful.
What? Like 10 minutes later, I'm laughing at this cover. Oh man.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever beheld. Oh, love them. I know what our new wallpaper is gonna be. And the bull just looks so thrilled that the 12-year-old boy is on the horn. He's just like,
What is happening?
he's a fallen bull in New York City wearing underwear, and Percy's just having the time of his life.
Oh, this is a pretty good question because I feel like, well, I could talk about this for a long time. Would you like these books to become movies?
If they're anything like the other Percy Jackson movies, then please no.
No way.
A good job. Like if they do something like Hunger Games quality to this, that would be fantastic. But I don't trust them to do that.
I feel like the only way they would be capable of making Percy Jackson, there's two ways this could be done. You'd have to completely remake Percy Jackson and the Olympians. You couldn't just start with Heroes of Olympus. And it'd either have to be done with a legitimate 12-year-old boy, like Harry Potter, growing up with us, or it'd have to be, as lame as it sounds, it'd have to be animated. I can't see any other way this could happen. Like, they tried to do the 16-year-old thing, and it failed so badly. I just don't even want them to do it again, ever. I just want them to stop and learn from their mistakes.
I feel like this would be a good series to make an animated movie.
I agree.
Like, you can do everything. You don't have to, like, cut corners or have crappy CGI effects. Like, you can do a really good job and, like, include everything.
Have you guys ever, do any of you play World of Warcraft, by chance? Okay. Have you seen like the trailers they put out with like the short films describing the new expansions and stuff? That style of animation with Percy Jackson would be perfect. It'd be perfect, and I wish somebody would do it, but I feel like no one's ever going to, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? Here's another question. And I'm curious what you guys think anyways. We talked about our favorite books and stuff, but what do you guys rate the covers, like from least favorite to favorite? Like, what is your favorite cover?
This is probably my least favorite cover, too.
Yeah.
I think this is my favorite cover.
Mark of Athena. Jason and Percy on the different horses.
That's a great one.
That's a good cover. I like
This is probably my second favorite. I think this one's my favorite. I don't know why. I just like the colors and stuff.
I really
and,
like
the
Son of
wall.
Neptune.
Yeah, Son of Neptune's a good one. I don't know.
I like it, yeah. I like got them all down from my shelf. These are actually the ones I'm giving away, so here you go. This is probably, I think the Blood of Olympus is probably my least favorite. I don't know.
I'd agree.
Or maybe this one. I don't know. I like the colors on this.
I do like the colors, but yeah, it's probably my least favorite of the bunch. I do like all the covers, though. I think this series has great covers overall.
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, it could be way worse. It could be terrible.
I would say number 1 is Son of Neptune, has the best cover. Number 2 is Mark of Athena. Number 3 is The Lost Hero. Number 4 is House of Hades. And number 5 is The Blood of Olympus. In my opinion. I just had to think about that for a second. So that's my answer. Looking at the hashtag as well.
Yeah, I think we have time for a few more questions.
Yeah, sounds good.
So if you guys have any final amazing questions, go ahead.
Meantime, we dance.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yes, dancing with us.
I'm happy we could all come together and talk about it, though, especially since we could do the House of Hades. It would have been awesome if we would have, I haven't even been booktubing that long, but if we had been, like, all throughout the books, then maybe we could start with his next series. We could just start doing every book.
Let's
Cool.
plan that right now.
Deal.
This is a
What are you guys
tradition.
doing a year from today?
All right, this with a high five. Everybody, bring it in. All right. This has been sealed by blood now, so if any of you back out, I'll find you.
The blood of the booktubers.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I'm really proud of that hashtag. I think you should
Yeah,
come back
good job.
someday.
Good job.
Oh my
Does
god.
anyone
Have a
want
year
to
to
get
think
any last like tweets or anything?
Here's a question that kind of relates. You talked about this a little bit. How involved do you think Annabeth and Percy will be in Madness Chase?
I don't want them to be involved at all,
Just
personally.
probably a little bit, like, maybe not even in the first book.
Or do you think it's going to be like a Heroes of Olympus situation? Like, there might be a few references in the first book, and then the second book, they're main characters.
Oh, I don't know. I'm okay with a few references, but I think Percy and Annabeth are done. Like, let's just let them live and have their fictional lives now. I think there's such a thing as too much of a good thing, you know?
Personally, I hope that it's not focused. I mean, this is weird to say, I guess. I guess I didn't really think about it till now. I might change my mind, but in some ways I do. I hope that they don't have their own chapters and that it's not focused on them. But I wouldn't mind like a mention of them, like that they're doing well, and you know, and later on in the books they're like, oh, they're in college, and you know, Annabeth is kicking Percy's butt in grades, and like I don't know. I would like a few mentions and to know, like I don't know.
That's cool.
But-
Yeah, I would be cool with that too. I just don't really want them to be involved in the general storyline.
Yeah.
They don't be the protagonists in any way, but I would love to hear some references about how they're doing at college, what's going on with them. That would be wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I say this now, and then we're gonna get the books, and I'm like, man, you know, I really miss that Percy kid, and I really wish he was like,
Annabeth, I demand more Percy.
yeah. What is wrong with you? Why do you hate these guys? Put them in the books more.
This December, if anybody's like super interested, I'm doing a Let's Reread with all the Percy Jackson books. Maybe if you guys want to do that, we could do a live show afterward.
All 10 of them, or just the first 5?
Percy Jackson.
Just Percy Jackson.
Oh, okay. So I said, whoa, whoa.
I would
Veterans,
really
guys,
like
we're diving in.
And those books are pretty easy to fly through, so.
Yeah.
Well, you, of course, like, seriously, no pressure at all. I'm just saying y'all is embodied if you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fun. I like I said, I've only read those one time, and it was like way before. I mean, I even like booktubed or vlogged or anything. I'd like to have some reviews up where I talk about like some of my favorite parts and stuff. And I have unfortunately forgotten a lot of the little details and things. So
Yeah, and it'll be a fun series just to kind of breeze through in a month. But
yeah.
let me see. Looking at the.
Any other questions you guys want to like touch on it?
Here's
Or?
one. Were any of you spoiled on this book before reading it?
Yep.
Oh, I wasn't. Oh, turn in.
And
I actually wasn't, but I was also just off the internet. It helps to be really busy.
I got spoiled on like the first day, which is really bad for reasons. And then, but the thing that I got spoiled with was Leo dying, but then he didn't. So
That's like the only thing that happens.
yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what did you spoil on?
But there's some fighting. What? Like, yeah, there's not really much to spoil except for Leo. Even
See, I did not get spoiled because I changed my sleep schedule so I could wake up at midnight and read for 8 hours.
That is commitment.
the worst thing ever happened last year when Allegiant came out. The day Allegiant came out, I'm not spoiling it, but the day Allegiant came out, for the people who have read it, I got a tweet like I don't even know. I don't know how they got it or whatever. It was literally like at midnight, and they were like, "This is how it ends." And I was like,
Wow.
"Okay, wow." And for those of you who have read Allegiant, you know the end is pretty. That's a bad spoiler.
Yeah.
That ruins a lot of stuff. So now I read Allegiant, and it just wasn't the same. It was a sad day for me.
I heard of a few people that had accidentally. Some people like to see how many pages, and I think these chapters say the name of like who it is at the top. And I think someone had saw like Leo was the end. So when Leo died, they're like, oh well, whatever, because obviously he comes back. I wasn't too upset because I was almost positive he was coming back with everything. I mean, like you said, they spent so long trying to get the all that stuff. So I knew he wasn't gonna like stay dead if he died. But then I started kind of second guessing myself, like, wait, maybe he's dead, and yeah. But spoilers are bad. Don't spoil people. People are watching.
Spoiler that I think I wouldn't have minded with this book was that there was no Percy and Annabeth chapters. Because I read this entire thing waiting for it. Like, 30 pages in, oh, when are we going to see Percy and Annabeth point of view? Halfway through, when are we going to see Percy and Annabeth? And we just never did. And I was waiting for it the whole time. If I knew, like, hey, there's no Percy or Annabeth, then I could have accepted it and, like, appreciated them from the other perspectives.
Yeah. You could have prepared, like,
Like,
you guys,
at the very end, I was like, oh, so Percy and Annabeth are going to get the epilogue. Great!
no, nothing for us. Do you guys want to, like, each choose a question from the hashtag or something? I feel bad. I feel like I haven't really looked at the hashtag very much.
Let's see. Have there any...
I think we've touched on like most of the big points.
Okay.
yeah.
So if you see any, but if you guys want to look through it and see if we see anything else that we've missed.
Yeah, one of the ones I thought was a really interesting question is Percy Jackson and the Olympians or Heroes of Olympus? Like, which one?
I just saw that.
Yeah. You know what? Up until this last book, it probably would have been Heroes of Olympus, but
I
now,
agree.
like, the Percy Jackson is just overall a more complete and satisfying and epic series. I still love this one, but the finale of the Percy Jackson series was better than the finale of this one.
Yeah.
That's true. I agree. That's hard.
It wasn't that this one was better. It was neck and neck. Like, I loved them equally. This final book was like the tipping point. I was like, Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, yeah, Percy Jackson wins, So, yeah, I'm with you.
The reason I loved being in Percy's voice, like the first person, and his humor was fantastic for the Percy Jackson series. But this one, I liked it because it was more epic, like it was bigger in scope. But then this last book kind of took that away. So, Percy Jackson.
Nope.
That's hard. Yeah. Well, I'm excited for his next series, though. I think I'm really excited about it. I really am. So we'll have to rejoin and we'll come back and chat about it some more. So that'll be fun.
When is it?
Our hashtag be?
Booktubers of Asgard.
Yeah.
Heroes of Asgard. That sounds wonderful.
Well, I'm gonna tweet it right now.
When is it? Excuse me. When does it come out?
It comes out next October, probably next fall.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say next week, and I was like, gosh dang it! Right in the middle of finals? What? You kidding me? Well, that gives me some time to like mentally prepare myself. Then at least.
Yeah, we got a year.
Well, thank you to everyone that watched us and tweeted us.
Yeah.
It was a great discussion.
Thank you to Tiernan for hosting.
Yes.
No problem. Yeah, I wanted to host. I've never done it before.
Hey, you're good at it.
Thank
Good
you.
about Tiernan.
All right.
All right. Well, I will see you guys later, and thanks for joining us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.